Hi everyone and welcome to my channel Africa Everyday. Today I want to talk about something that's universal all over the world and that is parenting. Believe me, even though parenting is universal, even among the lower animals, African parenting is quite unique, far different from any other part of the world. So in this video, I want to talk about African parenting versus Western parenting. I want to look at it, how are they different, even though they are universally the same. The differences in them and our different method in which we use to achieve the same objective. Because what are the objectives? Generally speaking, when you compile all the objectives together, is to make sure that your child becomes a good child that is productive in the society. That is generally speaking. You want a productive child for everybody that will be able to sustain, that will be able to live independently while contributing to the betterment of the society. Before I do that, I'd like to show my full appreciation to my patrons. Thank you for supporting my channel. I really appreciate you guys. For my old-timer patron, thank you. And for those of you that have been buying me a cup of coffee, thank you very much from the deepest part of my heart. I'm grateful for all of you, most especially at Atomic Shrimp. Thank you for being there for me. Remember, you can support me by becoming one of my patrons, or you can decide to buy me coffee. I used to call it a cup of coffee. Coffee. The link to do that will be in the description of the video. Your support is highly appreciated. Whenever I'm saying something particular about Africa, we need to understand something that whatever I say about Africa, there are particular exceptions, of course. What I'm saying is that a majority, talking about 99% of Africans, this is how we do this. Of course, in almost every situation, there will be exceptions. Because no comment to my comment section, I'll be saying, no, the way you describe, I wasn't trained like that. I was trained very close to the Western. I'm not talking about you. You are under 1%. I'm talking about 99%. When 99% of the population has done something or do something, that can be generally, acceptable, that this is how this group of people, this is how they do things. Okay. Having said that, number one that we're going to look at is in terms of discipline. In Western movie, the statement that I've heard mostly in Hollywood movies, that they call the child name. Or let's say John, for example. John, you are grounded. I think that used to be the ultimate punishment for children in the Western world. You are John, you are grounded. But believe me, when it comes to African discipline, let me tell you some of the materials that a parent use for disciplining children in Africa. Number one, we have slippers. We have slippers, we have belt, we have whip, we have cane, hand for spanking and slapping your face. So it depends on the level of your offense. So you are really going to enjoy that. There's nothing like you are grounded. You are not grounded, but you are going to be flogged thoroughly. When it comes to disciplining in Western parenting style, a child might have done something wrong, probably didn't heed to the instruction, the warning of the parent. The parent could call them and talk to them peacefully, try to reason with the child, the reason why that child should not do that. But believe me, when it comes to African parenting, slapping your face is going to tell you the instructions. And sometimes no words will be speaking. Like for example now, if my mom look at you, just look at you across the room, your brain will freeze. But believe me, because you know what is in those eyes. Using just facial communication. Every child, every African child understands facial communication. When your parent approves, when you look at your parents, you know that facial expression. When your parent is against it, you know. When your parents wants you to leave the room, just facial expression, you know it instantly. When your parent, in fact, sometimes African parents, they will use facial expression to remind us of what we're supposed to do, probably something we've forgotten. It's just facial expression. Sometimes it's surprising. It baffles me how we're able to decode it. But believe me, it happens. Now let's look at education. In Western parenting style, they'll ask the children, what would you like to become? And the parents will be there to support the child, whatever profession that the child decides to be. They'll be there asking them, what exactly would you like to be? The child will choose their passion, what they want to be. But when it comes to African parenting, the child is not to choose whatever they want to become. It is the parent that will choose. And if you dare choose what the parent does not want, believe me, you are going to sponsor your own education. And believe me, that is extremely difficult. Or like in the Western world, where you can sponsor your own. Now you have credit that you can sponsor your own university level, that you start out working part time. In Nigeria, there's nothing like that. Though we have few students that can do that, but believe me, it's going to affect the academics and their way of life generally. So it is extremely difficult. There are only very small percentage of Nigerians could do that. Why am I saying this? That I've seen students during our time in the college that did exactly this. They sponsored themselves, and this affected them a lot. So what I'm saying in essence is that our parents in Africa, they want us to become what they want us to be. Like for example, now, if our father has a friend who happens to be a doctor and now he likes the profession, then that father will force his son to become a doctor. That is what you should become. I want you to become a doctor. And these are the common professions that are usually selected by African parents. Doctor, in the olden days, when teaching was a kind of elite profession back then. So teaching, I'll put that. But nowadays, teaching has been removed from that, because of the way Nigerian government is treating education. So we talk about lawyer. You want to become a lawyer? You want to become a doctor? You want to become a surgeon? All talking about all those white collar jobs. They just want you to do that. If you tell an average African that you want to become a YouTuber or you want to become a gamer, you want to be playing game as a profession, they're going to look at you as if you completely lost your memory. Because this is the thing that we don't yet understand it. Or you tell your parents, as a child, you tell your African parent that you want to become an influencer. When they ask you, what is that about? Okay, I'll be making a video and people will be watching me. I'll be looking at it. I'll be taking pictures in different places. They'll say, man, this girl is not serious. What they will say is that, they'll say you are a slut. I don't know if YouTube will allow that word. They say you are a slut because that's the way they will say you. Influencing is not recognized. Apart from those job descriptions that I talk about, lawyer, doctors, architect, surgeon, and other jobs like that. Let's talk about chore. In Western parenting, chore is not compulsory. I'm very sure. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comment section below. I believe doing house chore is not compulsory. Just that when the parents want the children to help them, or sometimes to kind of impart discipline in them, they use chore to discipline in the Western world. Am I right? Yes. But unlike in African parenting, believe me, children are like mini adults. You fetch water, you do laundry. No, no, no. Let me say you do laundry. You wash your clothes. Yes, you're gonna wash your clothes, you sweep, you clear everybody, and you do cooking. Once the resources have been provided, the next thing you do all the house chores. And let me tell you this: Saturday is a special day in Africa. And we select Saturday as a day of chores. Yes. Since you woken up on Saturday, you're going to do different kind of chores till the midday or sometimes till evening, depending on what you're doing. So African children, we recognize Saturday as a house chore day, which I'm very sure no Western child will know that. So chore is for children at home. African children. You got to do it, you got to learn how to do it. If you're not sweeping, you'll be cutting grass. If you're not cutting grass, you'll be cooking. If you're not cooking, you'll be washing clothes. So the difference is huge. In Hollywood movies, I used to see where a child, you just say hi to an adult, sometimes to the hi mommy, hi daddy. And I used to make me laugh. Believe me, if you do that in Africa, you're going to hate yourself because kind of beating discipline and tongue lashing that you're going to face. You regret coming to this life. Telling an adult or your mom or your dad, hi, mommy, in whatever language you want to speak it, you are in hot soup. So let's talk about respect. What we see as respect in Africa is quite different from what they see as respect in the Western world. So it is quite different. When an adult is speaking, I'm not talking about your parents now. When an adult is speaking, you are meant to keep mute. No talking, no interruption until they ask you to talk. If you don't do that, apart from you're going to be disciplined, probably flogged, then you're going to be embarrassed. You're going to be disgraced. They're going to tongue lash you. So there are ways we greet in Africa. There are ways we greet our elders. There are signs, there are positions that we do to greet our elders. Like, hi, mommy. Good morning, mommy. No, you have to show sign that you're greeting an elder, either by bowing your head. In my culture, as a man, you have to prostrate. That's why it's been done. And as a girl, you have to curtsy. You hold your skirt, then you curtsy for the elder. So the respect is highly cherished in Africa, and that respect is shown in every facet of our lives. When to eat, for example, if you are eating with an adult, you're eating with your mommy and dad, and let's say, for example, you are eating fufu. If you have never heard the word fufu before, I've made a video about fufu. You can watch the video here, how it is being made and how we enjoy it now. If you are eating food with your parent, let's say fufu now, when you are eating fufu, in the soup, there will be meat or fish. You can only eat the fufu. You are not allowed to eat the meat or the fish before your parent. Of course, you are not. If you do that, I think I've done it once. What happened is that my hand was spanked because you are not meant to do that. That is also a sign of respect. So we show sign of respect in every facet of our lives. So respect is very, very important. It's highly cherished in African parenting. In Western parenting, children they have freedom. Like for example, they could hang out, they could tell their parents that they want to hang out with friends. And sometimes they do sleepover, just like I've seen in many Hollywood movies. Sleepover. Are you going to tell in African parent, are you going to tell your parent that you're not sleeping home tonight? Where are you going to tell them that you want to sleep? Sleep in a friend's house? Believe me, you're going to hate yourself. You can't even say it. How would you have the audacity to tell your father or your mother that, Mom, I'm not sleeping at home tonight. I want to go and sleep in a friend's house? They are not going to reply you. You are only going to see their facial expression for you to receive the response. You dare not. There are specific hours that you're supposed to stay outside. I remember in African parenting, there is nothing like being grounded. You are not grounded, but you are not meant to be away from the environment. Though it varies. Some are very strict, some are very loose. Some you can be around the premises of the house to play with your friend. And for some, you have to be at home. You can only play in the compound. So it depends. Talking about hang around what? And you're the parent. They want to know all your friends in Africa. In African parenting, the parent they try to know all your friends because they want to know the kind of behavior that you can pick from your friends. So the freedom at curfew is highly respected and is highly enforced when it comes to African parenting. All right, that's it about today's video. Please like and share the video. Remember, you can support me by becoming one of my patrons. Every support, you can support me for as low as $1. Every support is highly appreciated. And if you want to buy me coffee, I really appreciate it. The link to do that will be in the description of the video. If you want me to treat any topic whatsoever, please put it in the comment section below. Or you can private chat me. Yes, the link will also be in the description of the video, my contact. And I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.